This is an amazing moment to meet someone that actually fought in Kursk, because Kursk showed the world that Ukraine is far stronger than Putin wants the world to believe. What was it like being there at such a historic moment and showing the world how strong Ukraine is?
The Kursk operation gave Ukraine the opportunity to show that the armed forces of Ukraine have not only defensive but also offensive capabilities. The tasks ahead of us, in particular the restoration of Ukraine's territorial integrity, are within our power. We began this mission exactly 1 year ago. It was quite difficult because at that time Russia had concentrated a large number of troops there. But we accomplished the tasks set by the commander of the armed forces of Ukraine. They showed that the military can also carry out humanitarian missions. In the territory we controlled, the local population was not disadvantaged, unlike the Russians, who are unable to provide humanitarian missions in the lands they occupy.
Росіяни, скажімо, не можуть забезпечити гуманітарні місії на територіях, які вони окупували.
What was the response you got from Russians when you were inside Kursk? Because it seems like they were treated better by the Ukrainians than they were by their own government. And even the people I spoke to said that they were actually pretty happy. What kind of environment did you see from Russians?
Of course, people who live in constant fear were initially somewhat distanced from us. But after seeing our normal attitude, they gradually began to change their minds. We even heard Ukrainians spoken there sometimes.
Вас не ображають?
Та ні, ви нас не довезете, то ноги болять.
Та в нас якби тут...
У нас просто там амуніція, не маємо куди, чесно.
Ну ладно, потихеньку тоді підемо.
Так, але ви українською говорите?
Так, я хоч і не українка, але по-українськи, так.
Це, так що...
Слава Україні!
Слава.
Якщо говорити історично, це, скажімо,
Historically, those settlements were once populated by Ukrainians. They were part of Ukrainian ethnic lands. So, over time, they understood that we had come to show the difference between the government that exists in Ukraine, a democratic one, and how it treats people. We provided food, water, medicine, and medical assistance, while the Russians could not even provide adequate care for their own population. So at first, they distanced themselves. But later, they started approaching us, sometimes even asking for food, because we were the ones carrying out humanitarian missions at that time.
в той час гуманітарна місія, скажімо, виконувала саме нами.
George Kent, who is the reason this car is here, cycled across an entire continent, across America, so that you could move faster on the front line. What does that kind of solidarity mean to you?
Це надихає. Надихає тому, що ми розуміємо...
This is inspiring. It is inspiring because we understand that even people on other continent realize who the aggressor is and who is fighting for their freedom. It is precisely such actions that consolidate people and enable us to receive more assistance to finally defeat the century-old tormentor who has been torturing the Ukrainian people for more than a century.
Це дуже круто.
The more people understand the history of Ukraine and the reasons for this conflict, the sooner we will end the war and be able to establish a just peace.
Зможемо все ж таки встановити справедливий мир на території України.
Cool. So I wanted to give you this patch as well, which represents that solidarity from all the way from America right here to Kyiv in Ukraine, and wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much. And here is our patch in return.
The person right next to me is someone who lots of people in Ukraine would recognize from YouTube. Baron here is a famous YouTuber and is a known person in Ukrainian social media, and he is also serving in Ukrainian army, protecting Ukraine and protecting our freedom. First question I actually want to ask you is, why Baron?
So it's kind of a funny story. I used to be a volunteer just like you guys, and I used to provide pickup trucks, SUVs, all kind of different cars to Ukrainian armed forces. And a friend of mine, she coined that phrase, you are just like a baron of pickups, like you have just so many. And it was a joke, like the weapon baron, the car baron. And I thought, like, wow, the best call sign is the one that is given to you, not
like
the one you
naturally.
choose.
Yeah,
because
sure.
you know there are so many stories when people call themselves the angel of death, you know, the samurai, and then you end up being the. Okay, I wouldn't proceed.
Okay. You are from the occupied Melitopol.
Yes.
It's a town in Zaporizhia Oblast, and where do you live now? And do you have this feeling that you want to return your small homeland under control of Ukraine and to set it free? Was it a motivation for you?
Sure, that's basically that's the whole point of why I joined the Ukrainian armed forces. The whole point why I'm doing everything I'm trying to do to encourage other people to join armed forces, to help other soldiers. So as for your question, talking about Melitopol, this is the biggest trauma I ever experienced. It's, you know, those flashbacks, they are real because sometimes you just close your eyes and you see some random points, some random places in your city. Especially there is one beautiful place in Melitopol region. It's called Stone Tomb, Kam'yana Mohyla in Ukrainian, and it's an archaeological cultural place where like dozens of different cultures left their signs, and now it is under occupation. I used to study it, I used to film a little documentary movie about it, and this whole thing is terrific, but you know, it is what it is. You don't choose the times you live in, you choose what you do with those times. Originally, I'm a writer. I wrote a Ukrainian novel about basically Priazovia region. It's called The God of Steppes. It's basically about Kam'yana Mohyla, about the vast emptiness of Ukrainian steppes, you know. And also, I was earlier in 2023, I was a part of a volunteer team who helped negate, minimize the impact of Russian terroristic act when they blew up Kakhovka Dam, and when Kherson was flooded. When the whole place was flooded, came underwater.
Catastrophe, yeah.
And later, a year later, I wrote a book, a novel called The Flood. It describes basically the things that happened on both shores of Dnipro River in Khersonian Oblast. How people suffered, how people survived this horrendous, this absolutely inexplainable act of terrorism by Russians, committed by Russians. Khersonians call the event the Big Water, you know, like they even try to minimize the impact. They don't call it the flood, yes, the terror, they call it just the Big Water. And this novel, The Flood, is written in English originally. I wrote it because I want to share with all the readers from all over the globe what really happened there, and I really wish a lot of people would read it.
So let's take a moment for a little advertisement, guys. If you're watching, search for it, read it, buy it, and you will not only know about what actually happened, but will also support the work of talented Ukrainians who are now serving in the army, not because they want to, but because they need to protect their own homeland. Unfortunately, we have so many writers, so many artists who were killed by Russia. We can see this on the news all the time. Dancers, writers, poets, so many people which will never come back, which will never write novels, make movies, play different plays. So it's gonna be a huge support for us if you read and learn more about our artists. We need to fight against Russians who are more in quantity, who are learning fast, who are learning very good, and they're having a lot of support not only from Russia but from their partner countries who are also playing in this war against us. And I just hope, I know this car is not gonna change the way of war, but I hope it's gonna help you somehow in your fight. I also want to give you this patch from the campaign that was raising money for this car from Broe. It's a little present for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And while we are still filming, I just really want to make a little ad about the YouTube channel that Yevhen has. It's called Твоя підпільна гуманітарка. You can search it up and maybe watch some videos. I'm sure you will like it.
Thank you guys, really appreciate it.
Hello, Broe, my call sign is Baron, and I'm extremely glad to get this huge, extremely cool pickup truck from you and from your community.
Hi everyone, good to see all of you here. We actually, you see it in recording, but I'm here with Ivan. Ivan, nice to meet you. In the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Ivan was a driver mostly, and well, since Caolan is connected to the car, his brothers in arms started calling him like this. And yeah, what's your specialty now?
Now I'm a company sergeant major. I carry out combat missions, train personnel in the use of weapons and equipment, prepare them for combat, and so on.
Can you tell us how hard it is right now with all the fiber optics FPV drones on the front line?
The situation with drones is very challenging because nothing works against fiber optics. The enemy constantly attacks with drones. It is their priority. It is very difficult.
This is truck number 19 from Rick Rollers, from my community. I'm very proud of you, Rollers. Thank you for providing all these trucks. Campaign after campaign, we close it, and I'm really happy that the guys will receive the truck because they really need it, and I really wish that they will live for a long time and that it will bring you some, some service, some long-lasting service, and I wish it will not be hit by any FPV drone for years. How close will you be getting on this one to the front line?
Well, now we are standing 2 kilometers away from the enemy. Otherwise, we cannot do it. We take care of our vehicles because we repair them ourselves. Unfortunately, in 2 months, the Russians have already burned 3 of our vehicles.
Ivan, thank you so much for your service from all my community, from all the 69th Sniffing Brigade, from me personally.
We're also very grateful to you because this vehicle will be very helpful to us in rotations and evacuating the wounded. So, thank you.